Well. Your boy just got back from the stadium. I got my little wristband on. There's a little vibe down there, man. Shout out, though. Shout out. 37-15. They said let that man cook. They said he's Mr. Unlimited. Man, it felt good tonight, ladies. Just felt real good tonight being in the building. The energy was there, was electric. You know, we got plenty we're going to talk about. Hit that like button one time for the culture. Don't forget to subscribe either. Because, man, shout out, man. There's a lot going on, man. Obviously, we know with the Jets, a ton of, noise, confidence coming in with Devontae Adams, what they were going to look like, right? Him being back with Aaron Rodgers. Just a lot of excitement for them guys. And then for us, obviously, we had the flip side. Man, we were making the switch at quarterback. A lot of controversy in the sense of, or not controversy, but a lot of just, multiple opinions on who should be the guy in the process of that. In the stadium early on, man, the fans were letting Coach T and Russell Wilson know how they truly felt. Because, boy, it did not matter what was going on. That first, quarter to 2 quarters, they were, boo, Justin Fields. And we're just like, yeah, sure, but still getting some explosive plays. Then, obviously, from there, man, you start to see some of those bigger plays pop up a little bit more through the air with Russ. And I thought that was a big thing for him, man. A little bit slow start, but, man, when you not sit out for 2 months, when you miss 2 months of football because of the injury, you're going to naturally be a little bit rusty. But it was really promising from my perspective to see how quickly he was able to kind of get the rust off of him and ultimately get this thing going, man, and lead this offense to 37 points. That's a lot of points, especially versus that Jets defense, which is a really good defense, man. But from there, man, you also got to talk about the running game, man. Najee Harris doing his thing, man. The physicality, but also the niftiness, right? Another week where he's made a second-level defender miss, and he's started an explosive play. Back-to-back weeks going over 100 yards on the ground. The man looks good. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about Najee in the comment section, because I like what I'm seeing from 2-2. All right. But then big night from GP. Shout out to GP. Early and often. And I like the fact that with Russ, man, he wasn't shying away from Sauce. He was going at him when Sauce was on him, and then when Sauce wasn't on him, GP was just having his way. But I like the fact that GP was able to draw that big PI penalty down the grass against Sauce. That was impressive and questionable, in terms of the end zone shot. Should have been a defense penalty or holding or anything like that. I'm back and forth on it. I'm not tripping as a defender, but I could definitely understand, being in the stadium and kind of seeing the different angle of it. It's like, hey, man, looked like he was kind of grabbing on that dude, man. But I thought offensively as a whole, we saw the upside of with a rush from a passing perspective, the ability for guys to just look a lot more productive. We talked about GP going over 100 yards receiving. We talked about Darnell Washington looking very, very good in the passing game, man. Shout out to him also. We know he was on the podcast earlier this week, man, so check out that interview if you have not done so just yet. Pat Freiermuth also, productive night from him. Calvin Austin with the explosive, was it 36-yarder? And then Van Jefferson, a guy that doesn't get talked about a lot, but finding a way to get into get into the zone, man. So, like I said, man, definitely look good when you're talking about what those guys were doing from a receiving standpoint. And then just a perfect complement from a running situation with Naj, and then obviously Jaylen Warren, being able to provide that complement. I think it was around 40-plus yards he had on the ground. Offensively, dudes look good. O-line protected well enough. Obviously, Russ did get hit a couple times, got sacked. But as a whole, I thought the O-line did what they were supposed to do. And I thought Arthur Smith did a good job of calling the calls that were going to keep that Jets defense off balance and then taking shots at times where it didn't feel like, this is the time to dial up the big time pass. But I thought as a whole, all of those guys were on the same page. And shout out to them, man, for being able to put together another pretty daggone good performance, man, from an offensive side of the ball. Defensively, man, we showed up, man. Anytime you're able to get multiple turnovers against an Aaron Rodgers, That's big time, man. Beanie Bishop showed up and showed out. First time playing against that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, and we got 2 of them interceptions. Not 1, 2 of them, all right? Shout out to him, because West Virginia got beat, so shout out to Beanie Bishop, though, all right? I like that, man. But, man, just across the board, though, man. Defense looked good, man. Peyton Wilson flew around. Ton of tackles. Larry Ogunjobi setting the tone, setting the tempo as well. And just across the board, man, like I said, that physicality, man, I thought we tackled really well. And that was another thing that we had to do from a secondary standpoint. We know with a Breece Hall, they were going to try to get him one-on-one with our corners. I thought our corners and secondary, though, did what they needed to do to minimize his impact. And you know I got to shout out my guy, Danny Smith. Everybody chew a little extra bubblegum tonight for my man Danny Smith, all right? I thought he was going to have an aneurysm when they called that offsides. I think they called it on Minka. We was all like, yo, you're crazy, man. That was good. But shout out to Dean Lowry. Dean Lowry coming back, getting that block field goal. Big time in the stadium. We needed it. It was an electric night, man. But another victory in the books, man. Moving on to 5-2. And, yeah, 30-plus points scored. 37 points to be exact, man. So you guys let me know your thoughts, though, on the Steelers' victory. Obviously, moving on to 5-2, what you liked about it. More importantly, how you feel about the quarterback situation. You had your 6 games of Justin Fields. Now you had your 1 game with Russ. We obviously saw what his performance was, yardage, touchdowns, etc. But let me know your thoughts on him and how you would proceed going forward if you were Coach Tomlin, all right? And shout out to Najee as well, man. I don't know if I said that, but make sure y'all shout out to Najee. But either way, you know I appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button one final time and subscribe. And until next time, baby. Peace.